Welcome to this week's episode of the Rangeless Travel Podcast. We are your favorite adventure travel couple. I'm Britt, my partner Ryan, and every Tuesday we come and share stories and tips to help inspire you to book that next trip. This week we are so excited because we have officially sold Ryan's car.
Yeah.
Yay! Woo, 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 woo. It has been a long time coming that we've been trying to sell the car so then we can officially move into the van because we couldn't move in until that car was sold. So since the car was sold a couple days ago,
Yeah.
we've now have powered, have been trying to get everything ready because we knew it was going to be la 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 la. Oh my gosh, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we've been. So we've been throwing things together because we are about to move into our 89 Ford Sportsmobile for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the plan is for the next couple years to travel the U.S., Canada, all the way down into Mexico, and maybe further, depending, for the next few years in our camper van with our 2 dogs.
That's right.
So how do we put our entire lives into
this little van?
a van? Yeah. So if you follow along on YouTube or Instagram, you know that we have spent 6 months in Southeast Asia. So kind of what happened was we did a yard sale at my father's house and sold a bunch of stuff last year.
Yeah, before we went on the trip to Asia, we offloaded a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. We had a huge yard sale. The yard was full of stuff. We sold a ton of it. We literally packed all that stuff up and put it in boxes in a spare room. Sorry, Dad.
And it sat there for
a year. We're so sorry. Thank you. You're very much appreciated. When we came back, we then pulled all that stuff out, downsized even more, and had a second yard sale, which we sold nearly the rest of everything that we had. And then dropped whatever didn't sell off at the donation. At the donation. And we're left with a couple boxes of personal items. And a couple boxes worth of personal items that we're planning on leaving here. Just some random articles of clothes that it's just well, we don't really need it, but it wouldn't be nice to have.
Yeah.
Some very specific items
and sentimental things.
And some sentimental things, some books that we're not bringing with us, but I'm just putting it on the bookshelf. It's not anything the bookshelf's going to be there.
And let me tell you, it's a lot easier to get rid of stuff and sell stuff in a yard sale after you come back from backpacking.
Yeah.
Before I went, I was like, oh, I'm going to need this. After I get back, I don't need any of this stuff. Let's get rid of it all.
Get rid of all of it. And I feel it's going to be the same thing when we do at some point, transition into whatever's next after the van.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, we're talking about the van so much. We have been doing a lot to prepare, including selling the stuff and whatever. So I have been, to transition to get into the van, I have gone through all of my clothes 100 times. I've gone through all of my books 100 times. I've been putting on every item of clothing that I own, and if it doesn't spark joy, I've been doing the Marie Kondo. I'm if this doesn't spark joy and happiness and make me want to strut on a runway, then it can go and I don't need it. So I've been doing that. Also, I've been trying to eat through our pantry. So I've been doing a lot of no grocery shop cooking. Yeah. Because we have a pantry. So it's a normal house-sized pantry. And we're moving into a 1-cabinet pantry in the van. So I hate food waste. I absolutely despise food waste. I reuse every bit of everything I buy. So I'm well, I don't want to get rid of this stuff, but it's not going to fit in the van. So we've been doing a lot of pantry challenges where I just cook out of the pantry.
Or don't go grocery shopping for a couple weeks at a time.
Or don't go grocery shopping for weeks and weeks at a time. And Ryan's what am I eating? And I'm it's delicious. Eat it.
You've been doing a good job though. You've pretty much cleaned out the entire pantry.
I've done good. Thank you. And then Ryan's area of expertise, and I feel your brain has been loving it. And also why we haven't been putting long form vlogs out on YouTube is because I've been doing all that and then plus editing and all the short form and all of that stuff. And Ryan's been full on from the moment the sun comes up to the moment the sun goes down, working on the van. Yeah. I think we should show them all the stuff that is done that you've done, that you've worked on, that we've finished, finished products, and all the things that
I'm still working on.
And literally we're leaving this week.
Yeah.
Like, we're taking our own advice and we're leaving before we're ready. Because that's the only way to do it. So where should we start?
Well, we're up here in the top in the penthouse. Let's start here.
In the penthouse. What have you done in the penthouse?
These crossbars.
Oh yeah, this was a huge project.
This was a big project that we were not anticipating, and then we were like, oh, there's a lot of weight going on the roof. These crossbars were bent from the weight of the roof, and it's like a 30-year-old, 40-year-old van. So I've straightened the crossbars, and then I re-strengthened them by putting more like metal tubing inside, like high-strength steel inside them, so that they don't bend anymore. And then I've also like retensioned the springs so that the added weight of the solar, the roof doesn't collapse on us. Because if I just put the solar on the roof, we'd be squished right now.
Yeah, it wouldn't stay up.
Yeah.
And then you also put something in it to make it easier to push up, right? Or that's you're going to
That's my next step.
That's the next
is
project.
the helper spring that didn't come on this van. They put it on later models that helps the initial like push up. Because right now it's pretty heavy to lift up and down.
All right. So let's show the solar and where you're at with that.
Okay.
We gotta go outside.
So my plan with the solar is 2 panels in the middle that stay stationary, and then 2 panels that go in the little baskets on the roof, and they tilt like depending on where the sun is. I've got 2 hinges for them, and I'm trying to figure out some sort of like an angling lock system that can tilt them in different angles depending on where the sun is in the sky. Let's go take a look at it. It's kind of hard to see with the roof popped up like this, but I got 2 solar panels right here. And then I'm putting another one in this basket and another one in the basket at the front. And they're gonna be able to tilt. I wanna show you all I've done under the hood to get ready for this trip, because I have a fear that we're gonna get stuck in the woods somewhere and that we're just gonna be broken down and things are gonna come creeping out of the woods and we're gonna hear all sorts of noises and everything. And I've seen scary movies and yeah. So I got a new RV house battery. This is gonna power all our laptops, like cameras, everything is from here. I do have plans to upgrade this in the future to like a multiple battery system, but right now this will do. I put a new compressor in for the air conditioner, new condenser for the air conditioner, everything. It's basically a new air conditioner system. It works perfectly. It's retrofitted to 134A. It's fully modernized. Also I've done all new spark plugs and spark plug wires. So she runs real smooth. Also, I fixed both the leaking exhaust manifolds, which were making that tick, 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 tick noise. It doesn't make any noises anymore, which is really, really nice. Power steering fluid has been changed. Transmission fluid has been changed. Engine oil has been changed. Filters have been changed. What else have we done? Oh, the ignition module on this was giving us problems. We couldn't drive 20 minutes without this thing stalling on us for like 15 minutes at a time, like 3 times in a 20-minute drive. So that wasn't good. We fixed that. Also, new brake master cylinder, because when we first got back from Asia, we took this thing out for a drive. It was feeling a bit weird, and then all of a sudden we had no brakes. Yeah, not good. Right, now underneath the van, this is where I spent most of my time. I've replaced all the brakes on all 4 corners, all new suspension components everywhere, new axle fluid, new U-joints, new transmission fluid. I've been under here for weeks, and all the neighbors know me now at this point. I'm famous on this block. They'd be all walking their dogs past. One day I was under the front, and I heard this rustling like real close, and I was like, what is that? What's that noise? And I poked my head out, and there's a dog like 3 inches from my face, and he's just sniffing me. I was terrified. But anyway, enough of under the van. Let's go back up top. Another lovely addition that we made was this awning. This is going to give us a lot more space to like live day to day when we're camped out. Like this gives us like an extra room, basically a living room outside of the van that's covered from the rain that we can just chill and work from. Let's go inside. This van has a lot of features that most cars don't have, but one thing it doesn't have is cup holders. Like when we're on a long drive, we got nowhere to put our drinks. It's gonna fall, like if I try and stick it in here. So what I've done is, I'm in the process today of making a new cup holder that will like hold both of our drinks right here. And it's gonna like match everything that's in the van already. It's gonna look like it came that way from factory. But in the back, I haven't really got to anything yet. Britt's been doing a lot of organizing and getting things ready for our like living space in the back of the van. Why don't we hand over to her to see what she's been doing?
Welcome to the back of the van. This would be the office. AKA the toilet. I have gotten a few things back here. So I've gotten some shelves that need to get put up. I've also toyed with the idea of maybe wallpapering something down here. And I've ordered a new shower head that I'm waiting to come in. So hopefully that should be here either today or tomorrow. This is also where the garage is with a mirror. I don't know if you can see yourself in it. We don't know yet what we're doing with the garage. This is our bar. It has nothing in it yet, but I have containers for it. Fridge is really small. It's definitely going to be a bit of an adjustment to such a tiny refrigerator. Here, look inside. It's literally the smallest thing. I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that, but we're going to make it work. This is our closet. If you follow me on Instagram or you follow Rangeless on Instagram, oh, look, there's a bunch of junk in there. Ryan has been doing so much work, and he has been just taking stuff and throwing them everywhere. So, like, every time I open a cabinet, there's just literal trash thrown in there. So I got containers that fit this perfectly. So I got to start organizing literally, like, tomorrow so that we can move in this van. These are Ryan's cabinets for clothes and personal items. These are my cabinets for clothes and personal items. I haven't even, like, gotten to them yet. This is just the under the sink. Again, random stuff has just been shoved under there. Kitchen, I've kind of organized this. I put down the little mats. That's it. These are going out. This is, again, just like stuff that Ryan's been throwing everywhere. And our kitchen, like, utensil / junk drawer that has to be organized. And our futon, which, again, Ryan has just been throwing stuff everywhere. So we're moving into this literally this week, and it looks like a complete disaster. We have a lot of work to do. The short amount of time that we have to finish the rest of the projects that are going on, mine and Ryan's, and move everything into the van and, like, make the final decisions on what's making the cut into the van and what's not
is daunting.
It's stressing me out, quite frankly. Like, I feel very overwhelmed because we have all to do right now. But this is not my first time ever moving into a vehicle full time. I've lived in a self-converted schoolie, which never was, like, fully converted. And I've lived in a 89 Winnebago, which is like an RV. So I've done this before, but this is Ryan's first time ever moving into a vehicle. And I'm sure if I have reservations, he definitely has some reservations. What's like the number one thing that you're worried about when moving into the van?
I think mostly space, because, like, we're on this top bunk and it's not a stay in place bunk. Like, for us to, like, properly use the space, we have to, like, tear this up and fold it up in the back.
Yeah, we don't have a stationary bed.
Every day. And, like, there's 2 dogs and 2 people, and this is the smallest vehicle that you've ever lived in.
This is the smallest with the most amount of people.
Yeah. So there's that, and, like, just, like, moving around in the van is kind of difficult, like, because 2 people can't really pass each other in the alley.
Yeah.
Like, using the toilet, there's, like, no enclosed toilet. The toilet's in the back.
You've been in the office.
Yeah, it's not like a private toilet. Like, so someone's got to go walk the dogs while the other person uses the bathroom.
Yeah. And you have to dump the bathroom. Like, if you're fully using that toilet, that is an RV toilet. If you're fully using that toilet, number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, you got to empty it every 2 days.
3 days.
3
tops.
days.
Because everything starts to smell like dookie.
That's not good.
No. Like, I don't like the idea of number 2 in the van, but, like, sometimes I just don't think there's going to be a choice because there's places that, like, aren't open. And then, like, unless you're in, like, the extreme wilderness, you can't just, like, dig a hole.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have some reservations about finding dumping spots, but dumping spots aren't too hard to find. A lot of, like, Bass Pro Shops and different, like, big outdoor retailers like that. If you go there,
I know Love's the gas station has them too. Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah, it depends on what area of the country you're in, but I know some of the big, like, outdoor enthusiast shops, if you're a customer, so if you go in and buy something, and most of them have, like, cafes and stuff in them, so if you go in and buy something, you can fill up your water and dump and stay overnight. Which is really nice, but some of them have it, some of them don't. You just have to look it up online to see, like, which ones. also like the different apps we're gonna need and to use and download. And it's been a while since I like van lifed and traveled on the road in the US.
Yeah.
And a lot has changed. Like when I was doing it, I first did it in 2014. There was nobody doing it. So there wasn't really any community. There wasn't really anything like that. And I think that that's something I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to building community with other people living in this alternative lifestyle.
Right.
And just like making friends. What are some things you're excited about moving into the van? Because I feel like that, like, there's some reservations for sure. Like space, bed, like how are we supposed to do daily routines, like home office in the van. We both have things that we like and we don't like and we have to like sway. But I know we're also both like super excited. So what's like one of your top things that you're excited about?
It's definitely like the freedom to go anywhere in the country and like visit all these states and all the national parks and all of that. That's like the exploring is what I'm really excited about. Like the van enables us to do that on a budget, you know, because like we can't afford hotels all the time. We can't afford.
They're expensive. To
They're
travel
really
in the US is expensive.
Yeah. So this is like the most affordable way to do it. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm most excited about.
I also feel like it's better than doing it when you just like travel around and stay in hotels, because like we were able to like build out our own space. Like this I'm looking at is like our home. And we get to make it our home. So, like, all of our stuff gets packed away. Like, no, we don't get to get that much. Like, we don't get to have that much stuff.
It's a lot more than a backpack,
It's a lot more than a backpack. And as far as space goes, I also think it's like you sleep in the van, but you live outside.
Yeah.
So you sleep in the van, you live outside, and this is kind of just, like, your vehicle to adventure.
Yeah. That's all
That's
it is. It gets us around and like allows us to go and see all these beautiful things.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to like allowing the dogs to go back to van life, because both of my dogs are van dogs. Like Layla I got, which is the black one who's now blind, who is still like a spitfire and hilarious, whether she means to be or not. That's out for debate. But when I got her, she was about 6 months old, and I moved her into a van.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, Layla, you are an adventure dog now. And she's an Australian Shepherd and a Border Collie mix, we think. And she is like the perfect mix and like loves everyone and loves going new places and loves smelling new smells and eating new snacks. So like she loves van life. And then Cedar, who is, we don't know what kind of mix, but he's just like a dog. I was bottle feeding him in an RV. Like his first 2 years of life, he had never even been in a house. Like he was just like living van life full time, loving it. So he is like a van life dog. They're both about 9 now. So they've calmed down a lot. I don't think like the bigger hikes are going to be in the picture, but it's definitely going to be interesting because when they were both puppies, like they both had so much energy. So like I'd go on these really long hikes and these really big adventures and they'd like be going all day and like love it. Now they've definitely calmed down a lot, which they were always pretty chill dogs, but they've calmed down a lot where like Layla's like top she can hit is 3 miles.
Yeah, that's it.
After 3 miles, she's done. And that's with, like, good, mild weather and, like, not uphill, like, flat ground. So Layla's definitely has some physical constraints, and she's blind now. So, like, it's a lot more for us to walk her because she does verbal commands. So as far as, like, if we're walking in a city, like, she needs to be told, like, get close, step down, step up, or else she does run into things. But she's really good with her verbal commands.
Yeah, she is.
It's just like a lot, but I think she's going to really enjoy it. And I think Cedar's going to really enjoy it. And I think that it's going to be fun to get them back to those like van life dog roots.
Yeah. I think it's a very exciting like lifestyle for a dog for sure. They love it.
How do you feel moving into a van with 2 dogs?
I don't have that much reservations with the dogs. I mean, the dogs sleep in our room. They're like, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. They're not going to be on the bed because we're up here.
Which is going to be nice, to be quite honest. They like to sleep in the captain's seat, so they'll each sleep in one. And that kind of like, I just have to make sure that they're covered all the time so that they don't like unintentionally ruin them. But they sleep in the captain's seat or on the futon.
Yeah. So we just have covers for everything. That's no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the dogs.
No. Is there anything else you're excited for moving into the van?
Getting on the road again, you know, it's just like
it's
we've been stagnant for now like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And it's time to move on. It's time to keep going.
It's time for the next adventure.
Yeah, I got the itch again. I'm ready to go.
I was ready to go the day we landed. We landed in from Japan. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, and the van was still in the body shop when we got back.
Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't really quite in the cards when we got back. But we're excited about everything coming along. We have so much to do. I'm so overwhelmed. And if you follow us on our YouTube, if you're subscribed, that is why we haven't had like travel vlogs been going out, because we have been working so hard on getting this ready to go out. But we have more fun content coming from you. Our next video is the vlogs. We're in the Philippines actually, which is really exciting. So if you want more from us, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. It is all at Rangeless_. And until next week.
Bye.
Bye.